And I'm having problems when it comes to FaceTime app. Me and Matthew's having a hard time not communicating with each other on FaceTime. We've been doing a lot of fights on FaceTime. We have. To me, that's why Maddie is getting in the middle of that stuff, because she doesn't want to hear all that on FaceTime. That's why Maddie's taking FaceTime away from him for an extra week, because all the yelling and screaming, and she doesn't want to hear all that stuff, and the tattletaling and not giving things to ourselves. Yeah, I don't blame her with that. My mother's the same way, too. It's the same thing. The tattletaling, the gossiping, not giving things to ourselves, into each other's business way too much. We've been doing a lot of that with each other. We're getting into each other's habits. Lately, by some questions like asking dumb questions. Like me asking him what he does, like talking back to his mother too much. He's been doing a lot of that on FaceTime. I've been hearing it. I'm getting in the middle of that stuff because I think Maddie's saying things too loud on the FaceTime app. That's why. I'm hearing a lot of screaming and shouting from Angelo and Denise and Glenn. I've been hearing a lot of fights between Matthew and Maddie. Man, that's why I'm getting in the middle of that stuff. That's because Maddie's shouting at him and screaming at him. Well, he's not going by the rules. It's about Matthew not going by her rules. That's the point. He has a hard time following it. I know how to, but he doesn't. I've been hearing a lot of arguing. Maybe Matthew doesn't want to follow it. He's making excuses. But not cleaning his bedroom like he's supposed to. I've been hearing a lot of that from Maddie's voice on the Facebook app. On the FaceTime app. But he's not cleaning his room and not putting his DVDs in boxes or his CD holders that he has in his room. Or it's about him keeping his underwear on the floor, even though he should put that in his dirty basket. And Maddie's right. That's not sanitary by keeping your underwear on the floor. Not cleaning out his closet. That's the same thing with me, too. Same thing. By using a toothbrush to clean his bathtub, that's for to brush your teeth, not be cleaning it in the bathtub. He should be using Lysol to clean the bathtub. Or the toilet. It's the same way he has a hard time doing all that stuff too. He doesn't know how to keep things clean. He's always messy. I'm going to have to agree with Manny on that part. He doesn't know how to clean up for himself. He has got bad manners. He has to manage it. See, if I can do it, he should. I'll get reminded, or get told, or get yelled at. Just do it. It's always an argument coming from Matthew's mouth. It does. I do the same thing when it comes to showers. Always wait until the last minute to take my shower. I do. So Matthew's not the only one who doesn't know how to follow rules. He doesn't know how to follow it, but I know how to. But I know that Matthew doesn't want to go by the rules, but he's going to have to learn how to deal with it. I've been hearing a lot of arguments of fighting between Maddie and Matthew. That's why I'm getting in the middle of it. Maybe Maddie's saying things too loud on FaceTime. That's why. And I think Maddie's telling the whole world about Matthew's business. Like, for example, telling Matthew there's no FaceTiming until you know how to follow the rules. Some other stuff I know from Maddie's mouth. She's been running her mouth about Matthew getting into fights there at work, landing on him in the head and all that stuff. Like, and Maddie's been telling him, when you're at work, make good choices without getting in trouble. She's right. See, if I can do that there in SBS, he should do that there at Davis Street. But not to be bossing his friends around on the shuttle bus. That's right. I think Matthew is being too bossy. I think so. I think he is. He needs to learn how to be nice to people, especially with me. Especially with me. He should learn to be nice to me too. He's been yelling at me a lot. He's also threatening me. He's not showing me any respect lately. He hasn't. Like, for example, that he's been telling me not to get into his business. Like certain stuff. That's his Matthew, not my Matthew. And I need to learn how to let him handle it. I know that Angelo is not my Matthew. I know he isn't. But he needs to learn how to control him. Instead of me telling him that, Matthew should tell him that. He needs to learn how to step his foot down on his Matthew. He should. He doesn't know how to. You could speak to him in a high-tone voice. He should. You should use his voice with him. Just like I do with my nieces. Same way. Like, for example, I make sure that Uma needs to learn how to use a fork. Not use her hands, use a fork. Not stuffing things in her mouth. Not standing up on chairs. That's how you hurt yourself. By jumping and running on the couch, that's how you fall off on your head, it hurts your hip. That's how you hurt your body by climbing on couches. That's how you fall and slip, by not walking around barefooted. Talking back. She's been doing a lot of that, but talking back. I'm going to tell her that every single day. It's not nice to talk back to your parents. Just do it. But she likes to get her own way. She gets her own way all the time. At least Maya doesn't do that, but Uma Helen does.